What if I told you that the price of oil, the fuel that powers your car, your electricity, and even the cost of your food, isn't controlled by just one country, one company, or even one clear system? Instead, it's shaped by a complex, almost invisible tug-of-war happening across the entire planet. One day, prices surge without warning. The next, they crash. Wars, weather, politics, and even rumors can send shockwaves through the market. So who exactly decides how much oil costs? And why does it seem so unpredictable? To understand this, you have to step into a global game where supply, demand, power, and perception collide in real time. Let's explore, right here, on History of Simple Things. At the most basic level, oil prices are determined by supply and demand. That sounds simple, but in reality, it's anything but. Oil is traded globally, and its price is influenced by how much is being produced versus how much the world needs. When supply is high and demand is low, prices drop. When supply tightens or demand spikes, prices rise. But here's where things get complicated. This balance is constantly shifting, and many different players influence it. One of the most powerful groups involved is OPEC, the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. This alliance includes major oil-producing nations like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Iran. Together, they control a significant portion of the world's oil supply. By deciding how much oil to produce, OPEC can directly influence global prices. If they cut production, supply shrinks and prices usually go up. If they increase production, prices can fall. But OPEC isn't the only player anymore. Non-OPEC countries, especially the United States, have become major oil producers in recent years, largely due to advancements in shale oil extraction. This means the market is no longer controlled by a single group. Instead, it's a balancing act between multiple producers, each with their own economic and political goals. Russia, Canada, and Brazil also contribute significantly to global supply, adding even more complexity to the system. But oil prices aren't just determined by physical barrels of oil being produced and consumed. A huge part of pricing happens in financial markets. Oil is traded as a commodity on exchanges, where buyers and sellers agree on prices for future delivery. These are known as futures contracts. Traders, ranging from large financial institutions to individual investors, buy and sell these contracts based on what they think prices will be in the future. This introduces speculation into the equation. If traders believe that oil will become scarce due to an upcoming conflict or production cut, they may start buying aggressively, pushing prices up even before any actual shortage occurs. On the flip side, if they expect demand to drop, say during an economic slowdown, they may sell, driving prices down. In this way, perception and expectation can be just as powerful as reality. So why do oil prices fluctuate so much? The answer lies in how sensitive the market is to change. Even small disruptions can have big effects. Geopolitical events are one of the biggest drivers of price swings. Oil is often produced in politically unstable regions. When conflicts arise, whether it's tensions in the Middle East or sanctions on a major producer, it creates uncertainty. Markets hate uncertainty. Even the possibility of disrupted supply can send prices climbing rapidly. Natural disasters also play a role. Hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico, for example, can shut down offshore drilling and refineries in the United States. This reduces supply in the short term and can lead to price spikes. Similarly, extreme cold or heat can increase demand for energy, pushing prices upward. Economic conditions are another major factor. When the global economy is strong, industries expand, transportation increases, and energy demand rises. This typically drives oil prices higher. During recessions, the opposite happens. Factories slow down, travel decreases, and demand drops, causing prices to fall. Currency fluctuations, particularly the strength of the US dollar, also influence oil prices. Since oil is traded globally in dollars, a stronger dollar makes oil more expensive for countries using other currencies, which can reduce demand. A weaker dollar can have the opposite effect, boosting demand and pushing prices up. Then there's technology and innovation. Advances in drilling techniques like hydraulic fracturing or fracking have made it possible to extract oil from previously inaccessible sources. This increases supply and can put downward pressure on prices. At the same time, the rise of renewable energy and electric vehicles is slowly changing long-term demand, adding another layer of uncertainty to future pricing. Even psychology plays a role. Market sentiment, how investors feel about the future, can influence prices dramatically. News headlines, rumors, and forecasts can trigger buying or selling frenzies. Sometimes prices move not because of what has happened, but because of what people think might happen. In the end, no single person, country, or organization truly controls oil prices. Instead, they emerge from a constantly shifting global system where physical supply, financial markets, political decisions, and human expectations all interact. It's a living, breathing ecosystem, one that reacts instantly to changes anywhere in the world. That's why oil prices can feel so unpredictable. They're not just about oil, they're about everything happening around it. And as the world continues to evolve with new technologies and shifting energy demands, the forces that shape oil prices will only become more complex. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.